This is the start of section 2.1, so we're going to talk about a couple different things. So we're now starting to look at algebra as kind of solving for a variable. So we're going to talk about a couple different things. We're going to talk about the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division properties of equality. In other words, we're going to start using some properties that we're going to get that will allow us to get to a solution of a variable in an equation. So we're going to talk about definition of a linear equation, one variable in this video, and then we're going to talk about addition, subtraction, properties of equality in the next video, and then multiplication, division after that, and we'll see what we can do. So first thing we have to do is talk about what is an equation. An equation is something that has an equal sign. Equals sign. And that equal sign separates the equation into left and right sides, or left and right expressions. Remember we talked about expressions, what those were. An expression was a collection of variables, a collection of terms that were separated by addition and subtraction. So if you've got an expression on one side of an equal sign, an expression on the other side of the equal sign, and an equal sign between them, then you've got an equation. And equations then have solutions. So a lot of times we're going to be looking for a solution. Solutions make that equation a true statement. It means that the left side is equal to the right side after you do some working with the expressions. So an example of a solution would be x is equal to 5. So if I say solve an equation, that solution would be, for example, x is equal to 5. So if we've got an example of an equation, here's an example of an equation. There's an equation. It's got an expression over here, y plus 2, an expression on the right side, 12, an equal sign between them, and we've got an expression equal to an expression. Our solution then should be y is equal to 10. And if we double check our work, we can check our work and say we're going to start with our original equation, y plus 2 equals 12, and I say that my solution is y equals 10. Well, substitute that y equals 10 in here and say y is equal to 10. 10 plus 2 equals 12. Is that true? And you'd probably put a question mark on top of it. 10 plus 2, oh yeah, it does equal to 12. 12 equals 12. Sure enough, it does. And then you can say that solution, after you've checked your work, then you can say the solution is correct because that left side is equal to the left side, the right side. The left side expression is equal to the right side expression. So let's take a look at this one here and say, well, let's determine if this solution is a solution actually to this equation. Again, we've got an equation, here's an expression over here on the left side, expression on the right side, separated by equal signs. So let's say, or let's find out if 6 times w, well, if w is equal to 3 plus 14 does equal 4. We're not sure, so we put a question mark in front of it. Negative 6 plus times 3 is negative 18 plus 14, 14, does that equal 4? We're still not sure. We're evaluating this expression over here. Negative 18 plus 14 is negative 4 equals 4. No, it doesn't. So 3 is not a solution because it didn't come up to the same value for each side. In other words, negative 4 is not equal to positive 4, so 3 is not a solution. So there's kind of working with an equation and double checking our work to make sure that if we get a solution, is it actually a solution? So this is double checking our work. So here's in general what a linear equation is. There's a linear equation is that ax plus b equals 0. So it has only one variable. There's our x. X is the variable in this term, or in this equation. Usually we're going to work with x's, but a lot of times we'll work with different variables, x's or y's or z's or p's or t's or a's or whatever we've got. But it only has one variable if we've got a linear equation and one variable. The variable is x, but it can be anything, like I said. It has only one variable and also numbers. B would be the number part. So if we're talking about terms, ax is a term, b is a term. Ax would be the variable term, b is the constant term, and this is equal to 0. A is the number that's multiplied by x, and we also call that the coefficient of x. Just as kind of a refresher of our terminology. And if a is 1, then the variable is just written as x. So if we simply see something like x, or if, let's go back to our previous equation, y plus 12 equals, y plus Y plus 2, the previous equation was y plus 2 equals 12. That was on the previous slide. So we see here that y is our variable, and we have to understand that the coefficient in front of y is an unwritten 1. We have to understand that there's an unwritten plus sign in front of it, and we have to also understand that because there's nothing written as the exponent, then it's y to the first power. So there's a couple things that we have to remember if it's not written down, or kind of understand if it's not written down. So there's the basics of what linear equations are.